Put on. We are live. Let's go. All right, guys. So today I want to talk to you about the triad of success for sales. And I know it might sound a little like woo-woo, a little personal development wise, but there is a really good reason for what I want to talk to you about. And I just want to see if you fully understand what is required of you in order for you to perform at your highest. Now, typically I do focus on the ladies, and the reason why I want you to have an understanding of this is because as women, we operate a little bit differently than the guys. We just do. You know, you men, you're wired to hunt, you're wired to perform, wired to make it happen. Hold on really fast. Claire, if you have anything going on, can you turn it off, please? I can't hear myself think. And so it's really important that you understand yourself, because a long time ago, like back in the olden buffalo days, and let's say like the men went out and they like hunted like buffalo, and the women, they stayed home and they like gathered berries or whatever they were doing, weaving baskets. Let's say that you had Tom, and Tom was the buffalo hunter. I don't think that would be an appropriate name whatsoever, but just for this story's example, let's say that Tom was out hunting buffalo that morning. Let's say he's with his friend Freddie, and they go and they find these buffalo. They're about to go run towards the buffalo. Tom doesn't stop and look over at Freddie and go, "Oh my God, you should have seen the way Susie looked at me this morning. She has not picked up little Tom Jr. in a week. She doesn't even want to look at me. She hasn't touched me. I think something's wrong. I think that she might be talking to somebody else. I don't think I can hunt buffalo today. I don't think I can do it." That's not what he does, because men are wired to produce. They're wired to hunt. They're wired to get things done, and they're able to leave the emotional thing at the door. I just learned something new recently that I thought was really interesting. Have you ever had a moment where like maybe like your guy did something or something happened, and then you go and you tell him, right? You bring up a situation that happened 2 weeks ago and you're all upset about it, and you're like, "Hey, like I know we already talked about this, but like I need to talk through it again. Like I need to have clarity. We need to talk through this again." And for guys, you know, typically if you go through something with your girl and she brings it back up to you after you've already finished the conversation, you're confused. You're like, "We've already talked about this. Why is she punishing me? Why is she bringing this back up? Why is she wanting to talk about this again?" Well, here's the reason. I'm going to tell you why. Women were more emotional. In fact, let's say we have something that happened that, you know, wasn't so great. If we remember it, we still have the same emotional charge, like it's happening all over again to us. And so if we're wanting to talk about it, it's not because we're wanting to punish you. It's because we don't feel safe. We still feel that emotional charge, even if it happened a month ago, and we want you to hold space for us and want us to feel safe. So if we're recommunicating something, it's because that we still feel that emotional charge. So it's just really interesting how men's brains work and women's brains work. You know, as women, we think about multiple things at once. We open up a fridge and we can see that it's dirty. Like let's say we open up the fridge, we're really hungry and something got knocked over, it's spilt. We'll stop, we'll go clean it up. Guys, you open up the fridge, you don't see that. You think one thing at a time. You have a priority list. There's things that you need to get done. As women, we don't have that. We think about multiple things. We go to cook dinner and it's a mess. We clean that up. And then we go and we put, you know, a dirty towel in the laundry, and we notice the laundry hasn't been done. So we start a load, and then we go do this and this, and we didn't even cook dinner. It's been like an hour, right? So there's so many things that we have to understand. When it comes to a sales conversation, it's important for you to understand how you are wired and how you work so that you can bring your best performance to the table so that you can perform, regardless if you're a guy or a girl, right? And so the purpose of understanding that, you know, a long time ago, men like would hunt and not think about those things is important here, because with mindset stuff, guys, like you don't need it as much to be able to perform because you're wired to produce, right? As women, if we have something emotional going on, it can really royally mess us up. Ladies, drop in the chat me if you have ever had the experience of like something happening at home, your personal life, right? Something happened with your guy, And then all of a sudden, it's like, I can't focus. Like the world is over. I cannot work today. Anyone? Something happened with your kid? Yeah. Carly says, me, right? It's just like the world is over. I can't do anything because this emotional thing has happened. And the thing is that life hits you when you least expect it, right? Like we're not expecting to be upset or to be traumatized about something. Like just shit hits the fan and all of a sudden we have to deal with it. And guys, y'all are so much better at this. You're so much better at like putting the stuff aside and being like, all right, I have a priority list. I have to focus on work. Women, our priority list is, how we feel and our family and our kids and our significant other. That's more of a higher priority in our head than getting something done sometimes, right? And so it's more important for us to have an understanding of this so that we can have the right tools in place. So I want to show you something that I created, and I call it my success triad for sales. And it's really simple, right? If you want to do this for yourself, you can. And get out a sheet of paper and just basically draw a triangle. Super simple. So if you're drawing a triangle, I'm going to make it thick enough to where everyone can see it. I want a vibe board for Christmas. Maybe Santa will bring it to me. Here's a triangle, right? So we're drawing a triangle, and there's 3 different sides of this triangle for sales success, okay? So one side, you're going to write skills, okay? Skills. Now, in regards to skills, you are paid based on the value that you bring to the marketplace. You are paid based on the skill level that you have. Now, this is not just about you knowing what to say in a conversation in sales, right? This is about how you're saying it, the tonality that you're using, your ability to drop someone's guard. Ladies, if you're not being taken seriously in sales, it's about raising your status in the prospect's mind, getting them to think results-based thinking as fast as possible, right? Knowing how to navigate objections, knowing how to see and prevent an objection before them even happening because you're listening to what the prospect means and not just what they're saying, right? Skills, developing skills, mastering skills takes time. And repetition is the mastery of skill. Repetition, developing the fundamentals, watching yourself over and over, critiquing your own sales calls, getting somebody to give you feedback, telling you that you're talking too fast or too slow, helping you understand if your tonality is causing resistance in your prospect or causing curiosity, helping them open up. Do you start a call by saying, oh my God, hi, how are you? How's your day going? Oh my God, you have a dog, me too, even if I don't have a dog, and try to build fake rapport and cause a lot of resistance because we're in the least trusting era ever and people don't believe that you actually care about them. And now you spend the rest of the entirety of the call trying to convince them that you're there on their side? Or do you have the skills in place already to automatically look like a knowledgeable expert and not have any issues, right? So it's skill, right? Skills, sales skills, and developing those sales skills through repetition, through understanding, through mastering tonality, mastering how to get people to drop into a different emotional drivers, getting their brain to go into a fight or flight response and go into where it feels oxytocin and serotonin. Like there's a mastery of skill, right? So first of all, that's on one side. So you have the skills aspect. Now on another side, we have mindset, okay? Your belief in yourself. Now, again, for guys, you don't have to do this as much. Okay. Like you getting in cold plunges is not going to make you more sales, right? Like it really is not. You meditating more is not going to make you more sales, right? It's really nice. It really helps you. But if you don't have the skills, you can't perform. You're playing a numbers game, right? Counting the no's till you get a yes. Like that's how you burn out. That's how you get exhausted. You don't want to do that. So for us ladies though, us having the skills is not enough. I can have all the skills in the world and then something happens, shit hits the fan. Something happens with my daughter, something happens with my man, and then all of a sudden I'm out for the day. Like I don't want to do anything. Nothing else matters except for that being fixed. And it's hard because guys' minds, like nothing else matters but the highest priority. Their highest priority is performing. To prioritize work when we are going to prioritize family and our love life. right? And that's not wrong. It's just what it is. We're wired differently. Yeah, it's okay. So it's just giving you the skills to understand that, hey, like me having the skills is not enough. I also have to have the mindset. That's going to be required to get me to the next level. Guys, not so much. Guys, you guys can do, like, you can keep going without feeling like you're being rejected over and over. You can keep putting in more reps. Now, the last part of this triad is taking action, right? Taking specific action to get to where you want to go. Now, this is not you being busy. I woke up this morning, I cleaned my whole house. Oh my God, I'm doing so well. No, this is prioritizing your time to take action with things that move the money needle forward, right? What's the most important priority right now, right? Is it following up with customers? Is it following up with prospects that were almost ready? Is it prospecting? Is it having another conversation? Is it sending a follow-up message? What is the priority? And getting yourself to take action. Now, the beautiful thing about this is that you can't have one without the other, right? Like, especially for us ladies, we cannot have one without the other. Let's say we take a bunch of action and we have all the skills, but we don't have the mindset to believe in ourselves to get us through the rejection. We're going to quit. We're going to burn out and quit, which is why you see a lot of people quitting a sales job 3 months in. They work, do really, really hard, try to have all the skills required, and like don't believe that they're worthy of it or that they can do it or can't handle the rejection, and then all of a sudden they're out. Or let's say that you just have the mindset and you take a bunch of action. That's what a lot of people do that don't have real sales skills, right? So maybe they have the numbers game. They're calling hundreds of people a day. People are hanging up on them. Oh, I'm busy right now. Call me back later. Call me back next month, next year. Oh, like, please just send me some information. We'll let you know if we're interested, right? We said I want to quit and I'm on day 3, dear Lord. Right? It's because we need more skills, man. So, you being able to just have the mindset, I believe in myself, I believe in myself, I believe in myself, and take tremendous action, you're going to feel like you want to quit and you want to burn out because you haven't developed the skill. Now, let's say I have all the mindset, we have all the skills, and I'm like, oh my God, I believe in myself, I've learned so much, but you don't take any action, you're not going to make any money, right? So it's like all 3 of these combined together to really get you where you want to go. And the thing is that the skills are more important now than ever before because of the time that we are in. We are in the least trusting era ever of humans. And when it comes to acquiring sales skills, the first sales model that was ever created was in 1836. And it was the AIDA model, right? And this model of selling is literally still being taught today. And the thing that's really interesting with that is, like, do you really believe that people think the same, make decisions the same as 120 years ago? They don't. People make decisions a little bit different. So wouldn't it make sense to have a sales model, to have a different type of methodology, a different way of selling than something that was taught 120 plus years ago? Probably, right? And because we're at the least trusting era ever, we have to come and have a different type of style of approach of sales in general. So the first type of era of selling was like old school boiler room selling, Wolf of Wall Street selling, where we were pressuring people, telling them what to do. I have a great opportunity for you. Let me show you what I can do. Like, that was what I was originally taught in sales, right? Just bullying them into making a yes. And it made me feel so uncomfortable. Not only did it make me feel so uncomfortable, but it doesn't work as well, right? You had a lot of resistance, a lot of people putting up walls, a lot of people not wanting to buy from you. That's when you get objections like, hey, like, I really just need to think this over, need to think this through. Oh, I don't make rash decisions like that. We need to talk to our corporate office and see if we can even do this. Maybe come back next quarter. We'll see if it's in the cards. And people feel like they're just trying to get out of the conversation with you. I don't know if you've ever felt like that. You're having a sales conversation. You feel like this person's trying to escape. They're giving you an excuse or they're trying to get out of there, right? If anyone else has ever felt like that, that's rough. Now, after the boiler room type of selling, in the 80s, they came out with like a consultative type of selling where you would ask a few logical based questions, then you would go into a long-winded presentation, and then we would go into objection handling. I don't know if anyone's ever experienced a 30 to 60 minute long presentation where people are telling you how amazing their product is and their company and they're the best leadership. Here's a picture of our building. Here's a picture of other people that got results like you. And here's this and this and this. And then we go into objection handling. Most of the time spent in the presentation. And when you're asking logical based questions, you're going to get logical surface based answers. And people buy with emotion and they justify it with logic. So if I ask somebody only logical based questions and I get surface based answers, I really don't get them to fully trust me enough to open up so that we both together can find what the real problem is. Most people have no idea what the real problem is. It's almost like I give an example of like the pimple popper show, right? Where somebody has a disgusting pimple on their arm and it's been there for 5 years, right? And they go to the pimple popper people and they go to like take it out, all this nasty stuff comes out of it. It's disgusting. But why 5 years? Why did the 5 years go by with this pimple being there and not doing anything about it? Well, you find out that, they're about to get married, the guy's engaged, and the girl asked him about it, and it really never bothered him until she pointed it out. And now he's there getting it removed. It's kind of like people's pain. Your brain is wired for survival. So your brain doesn't want to think about pain. It doesn't want to sit in pain. It doesn't want to do that, right? You're not meant to do that. So your job as a salesperson is to be able to uncover the pain from the problem that they have or may not know that they have. And you can start asking them questions for them to start to uncover and feel like they can open up so that they can realize that this pimple is really bothering them. Like, how long has it been there? And like, well, what do you feel like it's impacting you at all? Well, with it being there and, your fiance seeing that every day, do you feel like that's affecting her? Well, in what way? Well, how come you haven't done anything about this in the past? Well, why is it so important to you now, though? Right? And just uncovering people's pain. JJ, your problem is that you haven't spent more time with me. We were supposed to go to dinner. That's your problem. We need to go to dinner. The problem is that, we don't really know how, or we don't have a willingness to be patient to sit with somebody for them to notice and realize his pain and how it's affecting them. Yeah. So your ability to acquire these skills is going to be really important for you because it's going to give you the ability to help more people. And if you can't help yourself, if you don't believe in yourself and you're not doing the work internally on you, it's going to be very difficult for you to show up powerfully for somebody else, for you to be able to lead them or get them to sit in uncomfortability for them to want to make a change. If you can't be uncomfortable, why is it that you're going to allow somebody else to get uncomfortable? So as we finish with this today, I just want you to ask yourself, and I want to do one more thing before we go because it's almost a new year. Ask yourself where you get to develop. If we were just going to take a note, do we need to increase our skill level to where it's easier for somebody to open up to us? Maybe increase our ability to have a better tonality, increase our ability to understand what the prospect is meaning, not just what they're saying. To feel like you really know, regardless of what a prospect throws at you, you know with absolute certainty where to take a sales conversation. You know how to handle any objection that comes your way. Like, you know what to do. There's no worries. Is it your skill set that you need to develop? Do you need to role play more? Like, what is it? Do you need to call more people? Action. What action do you need to do? Are you doing enough? If you're going to have a jury in front of you that was like, hey, is this person going to be successful? Based on the action that you're taking every single day, would they be able to say, yes, I convict this person to be able to be successful? Or would you know possibly that you're like, I'm really not doing what I need to do? And that's okay to have a recognition of that, but it's also your responsibility now to do something about it. Or lastly, your mindset. Women, we deal with this a little bit more roughly than guys do, but do you feel like you have every single thing inside of you to be able to figure this out? Because if you doubt you and you doubt your abilities, or you're suffering and you're worried all the time, you're thinking only about yourself. Oh my gosh, it's almost the end of the month. Oh my gosh, I have to have this done, this done, this done. Christmas presents have to get done. This has to get done. Oh my God, how am I going to do this? Oh my gosh, it was stressful. My family this, my family this. And you're like freaking blinded by your own mind spiraling. Who is the main focus of that whole entire internal conversation? It's you, right? And it's very selfish. We get into a selfish suffering state where we're only focusing on what's not working versus like, how far have you come this year? And what can you be grateful for within yourself or proud of yourself for what you have accomplished this year? What was the biggest thing you've overcome? Can you give yourself grace? Can you give yourself appreciation? And can you focus on just helping others or making a difference in someone's life for the next 2 weeks of this year? What would it be like if we didn't think about ourselves and worried so much and actually cared? And having a mindset that if you don't fill up your own cup, it's going to be very difficult for you to be pouring into others. You have to fill up your cup so much that there's an overflow, and that overflow is what you use to pour into other people. This is the season of giving. This is the time that we have to really make a difference in someone's lives, to show up, to make people feel important, make people feel seen, right? When you're with your family, can you just stop and give them your entire presence and make them feel like you care, like they matter, like what they do and who they are makes a difference in your life? And that's what this is all about, because maybe you're trying to learn sales skills so that you can make more money, so you can make a dramatic difference in your family's lives. And yet for some reason we feel soon, sir, we feel like we're so much stuff that's going on that we can't allow ourselves to be present. We feel like there's so much going on that we can't allow ourselves to actually make the time to make the memories. Oh, I'll do it later. As soon as I'm successful, I'll do this. Versus allowing ourselves to really step in and be present and really make the people in our lives feel important. Yeah. So as we're ending this new year, as we're ending this year and we're going into the next, what are you committed and who are you committed to being in the next 2 weeks? What do you get to clean up? Who are you out of integrity with? Where do you get to show up powerfully? Who do you get to be? What conversations need to be had? Are there people that you need to follow up with? Are there people that you need to do things for? And just getting right with yourself and ask yourself who you want to be for this next year. And if there was one word, one emotion that you would like to feel like for the entirety of the rest of the year, one thing that you're like, man, if I felt like this all year long, what would that be? Maybe it's I want to be more confident. Maybe it's I want to be more powerful. If you have your word, drop it in the chat below. But how would you like to feel for the entirety of the rest of the year? Like, I would just want to feel more grounded. I want to feel more peaceful. How would you like to feel for the rest of the year? And making that commitment now to do whatever you got to do to be whoever you get to be. Like, this is your time. And I feel like so many of us are so worried and so frustrated that things are not going the exact way that we want to, versus focusing out on others and really wanting to make a difference in other people's lives. That's what a sales call is all about. You being able to help somebody make a change to change something about their life or about their business, right? So I appreciate you. Thank you. Skilled and action-oriented. My ambition will do the rest. Amen. Let's go, Bill. So I honor you guys. I appreciate you showing up for yourself today on this live. If you want an additional training, you just DM me the word skills on Instagram, DM me the word skills, and we'll send you over an additional training just to help you out. But I appreciate you guys. I honor you, and I will see you next week. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year to all of you. You have literally every single thing inside of you to become successful, to make a difference, to accomplish everything you want to accomplish. It's your willingness to show up and believe in yourself and take committed action, even though it's uncomfortable, to make it happen. Lastly, if you would like a call with me or my team, or you need help sales wise, just DM me privately. Happy to support you, see what's going on, see if we can help. Other than that, have an amazing Christmas. We'll see you very soon. Bye, ladies. Bye, guys. Bye, everyone.